Greetings. Let's have a conversation about heaven. No, yeah, let's talk about have a conversation about God, right? So, the reality, where does the idea of a God come from? See, we have to be intelligent and we have to think and we have to ask questions. So, this whole idea of God, now, is there a God? That's an old age question. The facts are, I know some people don't like facts, especially when it comes to the idea of God or the idea of religion. You don't really like facts, but let's stay focused on the facts. The facts are that you are born. You are born into a world and you see creation. You see your mother and your father. You know you are a byproduct of your mother and your father. You know your mother birthed you. And that's really all you know. And then you see the trees, you see the sun, you see the universe, you see, you know, the plants and the stars and the sky and whatever. And then naturally your mind wanders. Naturally, you begin to ask questions. You begin to have questions. You know that you came out of the womb of your mother, but what about everything else? What about this planet? What about the stars? What about the trees? What about water? What about... There must be a creator. A creator. There must be a creator. But in our minds, we say there must be a God. And what is a God? Or maybe because we were taught to see it as God. But a creator is basically whatever is responsible for this creation. So that means it's not a he or she. It's not a it or they. It's just something that is responsible for creation. Naturally, in our natural state, that's how we would see it. There is something responsible for this creation. So there is something responsible for me. And in our natural minds as humans, we say there must be something bigger than I, than us. But in our natural human mind, we think naturally that there must be a bigger man. There must be a bigger human. There must be a superhuman. And this is what birthed the idea of God. So the whole idea of God is naturally birthed because we don't know what is responsible for creation. I'm going to say that one more time. The whole idea of God is because we don't know what is responsible for creation. As a result, we say, well, there must be a God, something bigger than us, something bigger than I. And that is what you call or identify as God. So, in reality, is there a God? Or is God simply a creation of your mind, of something, someone bigger than you, than us, because of the fact that you don't know what created all of this? Now, what we know for sure, now here's the facts. I just explained to you the whole idea and creation of God is due to our natural inquisition, our natural desire, our natural desire to, as humans, to question, where did we come from? Where did this come from? But I want you to be honest about the fact that you don't know. But as human beings, we don't like to say that I don't know. As a result, you try to explain it yourself. Now that explanation has become widely accepted. But where is the evidence? You say, well, creation is the evidence. No, 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 no. Creation is not the evidence of a God. Creation is the evidence of something, of a creator. There's a difference between a creator and a God. Because a creator is whatever, we don't know. But when you say God, then you assigned it to something. You assigned it to one of the religions, one of the ideas. We know that there's a creation, that we know. So, the creation proves that there is a creator. But what it does not prove is what a creator is. Your idea of what a creator is created by man trying to explain the unknown. The reality is nobody knows. Nobody knows what created this. If you want to be honest, nobody knows. What created me as a human being? The only thing as I know is that I came out of the womb of my mother. And I know that I came out of the sides of my father, the sperm that ejaculated into my mother, met the eggs, and boom. 9 months later, that we know. But human beings have a problem admitting or accepting that they do not know. And when you do not know, and you try to figure it out, and then you hit a wall, you're not mature enough to say, well, I don't know. So then your mind makes things up. Now, this is all factual, this is all logic, and this is all reality. Now, you could choose not to believe it, but not believing the truth does not make it no longer the truth. And believing a lie does not make that lie a truth. Now, in every culture, they have an explanation, and they have their own creation of what God is. The Chinese, they have Buddha. They have their own belief and explanation of what God is. Indians have their own beliefs and explanation of what God is. It's not the same. Europeans have their own belief and explanation of what God is. Africans have their own beliefs and explanation of what God is. But the African belief and explanation was destroyed by the Europeans. Through colonization, enslaving, killing, and destroying Black history and Black culture. So since they went into Africa and destroyed everything and took its people, so that belief and that explanation of what God is no longer identifies to you as a Black man or a Black woman. Now you identify with the belief and with the explanation of the European who destroyed your belief and your culture. And that European told you that you're bad, you're of the devil, and that your beliefs are no good. And we ignorantly believe that because we don't know our belief system. We don't know what identity we created of what and who God is. Now you have a whole bunch of Negroes embracing the belief and the creation of what God is from the people who destroyed them. I don't know if you're understanding what I'm saying. So the African belief system was destroyed and it was demonized. That's a fact. It was destroyed and demonized, but it was destroyed and demonized by the demons that destroyed their history, that destroyed their culture, that destroyed their identity. The people who gave you this idea of who and what God is that you embrace today are the very same people who was raping your ancestors, who were burning your ancestors alive, who were eating your ancestors. After many years of doing this, and after destroying, after literally killing and committing the greatest genocide on this planet against your ancestors, with the religion that you embrace today. Understand, the Europeans were burning your ancestors alive. They were killing them. They were raping them. They were eating them. They were beating them. They were abusing them physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. At the same time, giving them this religion. Telling them that they need to accept this Bible. They need to accept this religion. They need to accept Jesus. They need to accept Christianity. And then you have the Muslims that did the exact same thing. While they were doing this, while they were introducing you, your ancestors, to religion, to the Bible, to Christianity, to Christ, they were telling you that you need to save your soul and that you were a sinner. And that if you don't accept Jesus, you would go to hell. That's what they told your ancestors. Some of your ancestors who knew better, a lot of them, all of them did, but some of them who knew better, they said, no, we don't want any of that mess. They burned them alive. While burning them alive, you have your other ancestors who are watching. And as a result, naturally, what you think is going to happen if you don't want to die? But at the same time, what I want you to understand is, while they were telling you, your ancestors, while they were telling your ancestors, the same very wild moment, time, when they were telling your ancestors that they need to be saved, they need to accept Jesus, they need to accept Christianity, they need to accept the Bible so that they can be saved, so that they can spare hell, so they can not go to hell, because they were sinners. At the same time, the Europeans, they told this to your ancestors, but at the same time, they were not afraid of going to hell. Do you understand what I'm saying? They weren't afraid of your God, of this God that they gave you. They weren't afraid of this Bible. They weren't afraid of Christianity, because they were literally raping and killing and eating and hanging and doing all these evil things to your ancestors and forcing them to convert into Christianity to save your soul. But they weren't worried about their soul. You understand what I'm saying? And at the same time, so they got you afraid of hell. They got you afraid of the devil. They got you afraid. But they weren't worried. Because while they were telling you not to kill, they were killing you. They were raping you. While they were telling you not to lie, so you don't go to heaven, they were lying. They were raping. So you see, they were never afraid of the Bible. They were never afraid of Jesus, the Christ. They weren't ever afraid of Christianity. But they forced it literally upon you. That's a fact. We are the only people on this planet, black people, people of melanin, people of you. We are the only ones on this planet who actually is afraid of God, who is afraid of going to hell. Because while religion was being fed force to us, the people weren't holding their part of the bargain. They weren't doing their part. They weren't being loving. They weren't being righteous. Hello? We have to be honest. And then again, we go back to every culture and every people create their own idea and beliefs of what and who God is. But you, as a person of melanin, you as an African, you as an Haitian, they destroyed the idea of God that your ancestors created for you. So you're not walking in your identity. You are embracing another man's religion. Specifically, the man that beat, tortured, raped, and killed your ancestors. Now, that is the most disrespectful thing anyone can ever do. You just threw on your ancestors. And now you're proud. In the same way you see Negroes, you see us people are proud to wear other people's names on our clothes. We're proud to wear the white man's designs, right? We're proud to wear the white man's name. We're proud to wear, I don't know, Gucci, Prada, whatever. We're proud to wear name brands, which is the name of the white man who enslaved you. The same way that we're proud to have the identity, in the same way we are proud to call ourselves Christians. A God and a religion that they fed force your ancestors. And after so long of being fed forward, of being indoctrinated, and after so many of our ancestors being killed, now we don't know who we are. We don't know the story to go back to. So now we just simply, like everything is normal, going along with what they're giving us. We're just going along with it. We're just rolling. We're just going. We're just going. And you're not even trying. A whole bunch of us are not even trying to find our identity, even to know the story. You don't even care. Now you're proud to be Haitian American, whatever that is, to be African American. You're proud of the American. You're proud to wear the white man's name on your body. You're proud to call on his God. The Catholic Church is the one who okayed your enslavement. The Catholic Church is the one that gave the kings okay to go out, for them to go out and find land and to take it from black people, to take the resources from them and enslave the people. The Catholic Church. That's a fact. So your God, so the people who gave to you your God committed the greatest crimes, the greatest sin on this planet. And now your idea of sin is anything that goes against God, but who's God? You can't hear him, you can't see him, you can't, people speak for him and people write for him. Well, how the hell you know that people's not writing their own stuff, not saying their own stuff? Anybody can say, oh, God said. If a black man come and tell you God said, how do you verify? How do you prove that God really said? So if you haven't gotten the point, every culture, every people create their own idea of God. Because at the end of the day, none of us know what created all this. So everybody creates their own explanation. But the black explanation, the African explanation, was destroyed. Now you're embracing everybody else's. But black people outdate everybody on this planet. Africans outdate everybody on this planet. Africans have been on this planet for over 200,000 years. Europeans have been on this planet for only about 10,000 years. So the European idea of God is, what's the word I'm looking for? Is not the original. It's counterfeit. It was taken from the African story that they destroyed. And they took it from them, twist, turned, and whatever, and then presented to you. Since you don't know your identity and you don't even care to look for your story, so you don't know the truth, and you don't know if they're, you don't know that's what they did. But the facts remain that the people who gave you Christianity, the people who gave you the Bible, people who gave you religion, did not believe in it. Because there was literally fucking, killing, raping, molesting, abusing your ancestors, stealing the resources of Africa. They committed every sin against the Bible and every sin against humanity. Now, my definition of sin has nothing to do with the Bible. My definition of sin is anything that harms or destroys humanity, or anything that harms or destroys nature is a sin. That's my definition of sin. And no one has 100% done that other than the people, the very people, the very race that forced the religion that you now embrace. They literally raped the planet, destroy the planet, destroy humanity, destroyed your people, your ancestors. They killed billions of your ancestors. They killed billions of trees. They've destroyed, they pollute the water, they pollute the air, they pollute the food, they create GMOs. They literally destroy everything that is natural. Literally. For about 3,000 years, they have literally been destroying humanity. They have been destroying black people, Africans. Literally. And they got you to believe in a heaven outside of this world. They have you looking for a heaven outside of this world while getting you, your ancestors, to create heaven for them right here on this earth. Maybe they know something that you don't. Because they literally enslaved your ancestors through the Arab slave trade for about 1,200 years. And through the transatlantic slave trade for about 300, 400 years. Literally enslaved your ancestors to build heaven on earth for them while telling you to wait for your heaven in another world, out of this world. And when you're dead, but they had you built heaven for them while they are alive. Now, my question, and then I'm done. Can you imagine how different life would be for us, for humanity, if we stopped looking for heaven outside of this world? If you did not believe that heaven is outside of this world, and you had to wait till you die to get it, then we would try to build heaven here. What does that mean? We would try to build heaven here. We would work to make heaven a better place. We would work to make here a better place because it's all that we know. We would try to make heaven here. If you were not looking for heaven or waiting for heaven, or if you did not believe that heaven was outside of this world, outside of this earth, outside of this planet, you would work to build heaven right here while you are alive. That's what the Europeans done. They got your ancestors and you to build heaven right here for them. Now they run the show. But the difference is, in order for them to create their heaven, they must destroy the planet and humanity in the process. Because they are not the children of the sun. They don't need the planet. But we do. but we do. We are the children of the sun. We need the sun to survive. We need the sun to make us healthy. We need the sun for our immune system to work perfectly. The Europeans don't need the sun. The Europeans can do without the sun. Europeans cannot stay in sunlight for more than 15 minutes. If they stay in the sun longer than 15 minutes, they will begin to self-destruct on the inside. This is the reason why they need sunscreen. The sun is harmful to their health, but the sun is part of creation. This is why they create GMOs. They create GMOs. They create GMOs, genetically modified organism, because they themselves are genetically modified organisms. You, a person of melanin, a person of you, a black person, an African, are organic. You are the children of the sun. I encourage you to meditate on that. One us.